محمد وآل محمد صلوات. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the second night of our Fatimiyya programs, where we have the honor of having Sheikh Ammar with us. Right now he is performing a marriage ceremony, so inshallah in the meantime we'll get started with the recitation of the Quran. Before then, please recite Surah Fatiha for the families who provided dinner last night and the families who provided dinner tonight for their mahrameen, inshallah. There's one announcement I wanted to make. If there's people who can help out. You might have heard recently ASU brought 63 girls from Afghanistan as students. So they flew them from Afghanistan and they're sponsoring their tuition at ASU. I just found out yesterday, a professor contacted me that majority of the girls are Shia and they're Hazara. And so they left everything, their families, and they came with nothing. And so they're needing like the chador for prayer, and as well as janamaz and torbas. So if any of your family, if you know people who have extra chadors, please let me know. We're collecting. I've also talked with some of the Vlani brothers if they have extra chadors. So we need about 60 of them. So that's one of the things the girls requested, chadors, prayer mats, and torbas. So anyone can help out with that, inshallah, let me know. Inshallah, we'll start then with the recitation of the Holy Quran with Brother Abu Talib, inshallah. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا. إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا. إنا أعتدنا للكافرين سلاسل وأغلالا وسعيرا. إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا. عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا. يوفون بالنذر ويخافون يوما كان شره مستطيرا. ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا إنا نخاف من ربنا يوما عبوسا قمطريرا فوقاهم الله شر ذلك اليوم ولقاهم نظرة وسرورا وجزاهم بما صبروا جنة وحريرا متكئين فيها على الأرائك لا يرون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا ودانية عليهم ظلالها وذللت قطوفها تذليلا ويطاف عليهم بآنية من فضة وأكواب كانت قوارير من فضة قدروها تقديرا ويسقون فيها كأسا كان مزاجها زنجبيلا عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا ويطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون إذا رأيتهم حسبتهم لؤلؤا منثورا وإذا رأيت ثم رأيت نعيما وملكا كبيرا عاليهم ثياب سندس خضر واستبرق وحلوا أساور من فضة وسقاهم ربهم شرابا طهورا إن هذا كان لكم جزاء وكان سعيهم مشكورا إنا نحن نزلنا عليك القرآن تنزيلا فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تطع منهم آثما أو كفورا واذكر اسم ربك بكرة وأصيلا ومن الليل فاسجد له فسبحه ليلا طويلا إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسرهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما صدق الله العلي العظيم.
I'm going to recite the English version of Surah Al-Insan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Has there not been over man a period of time when he was not a thing worth mentioning? Verily, we have created man from nutfa of mixed semen in order to try him, so we made him hearer and seer. Verily, we showed him the way, whether he be grateful or ungrateful. Verily, we have prepared for the disbelievers iron chains, iron collars, and a blazing fire. Verily, the Abrar shall drink wine of a cup mixed with water from a spring in paradise called Kafur, a spring wherefrom the slaves of Allah will drink, causing it to gush forth abundantly. They are those who fulfill their vows, and they fear a day whose evil will be widespreading. And when they give food in spite of their love for it to the poor, the orphan, and the captive, saying, we feed you seeking Allah's countenance only. We wish for you no reward nor thanks from you. Verily, we fear from our Lord a day hard and distressed that will make the faces look horrible. So Allah saved them from the evil of that day and gave them a light of beauty and joy. And their recompense shall be paradise and silken garments, because they were patient, reclining therein on raised thrones. They will see there neither the excessive heat of the sun nor the excessive bitter cold. And the shade thereof is close upon them, and the bunches of fruit thereof will hang low within their reach. And amongst them will be passed round vessels of silver and cups of crystal clear, made of silver. They will determine the measure thereof. And they will be given to drink thereof a cup of wine mixed with zanjabil, a spring there called salsabil. And round about them will serve boys of everlasting youth. If you see them, you would think of them as scattered pearls. And when you look there in paradise, you will see a delight that cannot be imagined, a great dominion. Their garments will be of fine green silk and gold embroidery. They will be adorned with bracelets of silver, and their Lord will give them a pure drink. And it will be said to them, verily, this is reward for you, and your endeavor has been accepted. Verily, we have sent down the Quran to you by stages. Therefore, be patient, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with constancy to the command of your Lord, and obey neither a sinner nor a disbeliever amongst them. And remember the name of your Lord every morning and afternoon. And during the night, prostrate yourself to him and glorify him a long night throughout. Verily, the disbelievers love the present life of this world and put behind them a heavy day. It is we who created them, and we have made them of strong built. And when we will replace them with others like them of complete replacement. Verily, the verses of the Quran is an admonition. So whoever wills, let him take a path to his Lord. But you cannot will unless Allah wills. Verily, Allah is ever all-knowing and all-wise. He will admit his mercy whom he wills, as for us the Dhalimeen, he has prepared for them a painful torment. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Abu Talib and Hassan, for the beautiful recitations. Now, inshallah, please welcome Sheikh Ammar with Allah wa salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
गर्म पानी के लिए मैं इसमें पत्तों में मुझे अच्छा
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين رب السماوات والأرض، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وعلى آله. We discussed yesterday about the issue of how we are going to elevate ourselves, how we can improve ourselves towards to the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And before we think about others, we should think about ourselves first of all. And if I summarize, if I update a little bit, I can say none of us are responsible for others. We are just responsible for ourselves. This is it. We have tons of ahadith from me. We are not responsible for others, except for family members. Who ahdikum, Quran says, stand up. Thank you so much. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Quran says, stand, take a stand for your own wife, your husband, your children, your daughter, your son, your close ones, your family. And that's it. And you have no time for others. You don't have to do anything for anyone else. Just do for yourself. And lots of people are going to ask from, what is the problem? Then what about Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar and these things? Yes, there is Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. There is. The law is, according to Imam Jafar Sadiq sallallahu alayhi, where he says, Kunu du'at an-nas bi'a'malikum la bi'alsinatikum. Very clear tarjuma. Invite others to good deed with your actions, without using your tongue. Full stop. So since today, now we know what is the meaning of Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar. Kunu du'at an-nas bi'a'malikum. This hadith we have from Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu, and the same hadith we have from Imam Rida alayhi salatu. Kunu du'at an-nas bi'a'malikum la bi'alsinatikum. Invite others to good deed towards Allah, towards Ahlul Bayt, without using your language or tongue. So how is it possible? Only with your actions. So don't say that tomorrow Sheikh Ammar said there's no more Amr Ma'ruf. No, there is Amr Ma'ruf, but the pattern has changed. Most of the time we go with the words. Don't do this and don't do this and don't do this and do this and do this and do this. This is all wrong. None of your business. Very clear. Shahid Baqir al-Sadr, Rizwanullah alayh, in Ramadan, his students came to him, said, Sayyidina, we are going for tabligh, different cities, maybe some Arab, some Iran, some other states. What is your advice? They asked from Shahid Baqir al-Sadr, Rizwanullah alayh, what is your advice? And this was the advice of Shahid Baqir al-Sadr. He said, Kunu du'at an-nas bi'a'malikum la bi'alsinatikum. If you're going to do tabligh, invite others towards Islam, towards Allah, towards Ahlul Bayt, towards Rasul, towards Quran, but only with your actions, not with your tongue. If someone come and ask you a question, yes. If you know the answer, say this is the answer. If you don't know the answer, say I know a sheikh, a scholar, a mujtahid, a fakie, I'll take you to him and he will answer you. Full stop. Your job is done. So since tomorrow, we are going to do Amr al-Ma'ruf and Nahy al-Munkar, but with our what? Actions, not with our deed, not with our tongue. كونوا دعاة الناس بأعمالكم لا بألسنتكم. There's another sentence from Ammar very similar to this. It's not coming in my mind. As soon as I remember it, I will repeat it for you, inshallah ta'ala. So first we have to work on ourselves, and this is a responsibility. And when I'm done with myself, then I have to for my family. Stand up. Quran says, stand up for your family. Take a stand for your family. Your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your children, your brother, your sister, your close ones, your family. In this two part between yourself and family, you are done. You will not have time for working others unless you quit your job, you become a scholar, and then you become a scholar. As a scholar, you might get a duty to go and talk to the people. You become a kind of priest. You preach people. Any of you. And if I call you, my brother, how is doing? How think everything you're doing? Yeah, I'm good. Let me tell you the story. There was a student in Najaf, old times. Most of the time, is when the students they need some prescription, they used to go to him. And after a long time, and he used to prescribe medicine to the students. Get this and that, get this and that. A long time after this, some students came to him and said, brother, how can you prescribe medicines to others? You are not a doctor. He said, yes, I'm not a doctor. But I am married to a doctor. I'm sleeping with a doctor 20 years. This not give you any permission. If you're married to a doctor, you can prescribe prescription to others. No, this is her specialty, not yours, even though you're married with her. Same thing here. You cannot prescribe religion to others. Full stop. But you can invite others to Allah, to God, to Khuda, to Rasulullah, to Quran, to Ahlul Bayt. But with your actions, with your deeds. Do good as much as you can good. You perform good, but don't use la bi alsinatikum. Stop your language, stop your tongue, no tongue. Very clear, huh? Very clear. First, we have to build ourselves. Two more hadiths from yesterday. Hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where he says, Salamatul insan fi hifd al-lisan. Your salama, your health is in protecting, controlling your tongue. If you control your tongue, your language, you're saved. Your health, you're being healthy, you're being good on the base of Iman, on the level of Iman. As salamatul insan fi hifd al-lisan. You control your tongue and you're safe. If you want to be salim and salama, you want to be healthy, you want to be strong, positive, control your tongue. Next hadith is from Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, where he says, Man hafidha lisana satara lahu awlatah. Awla means in Arabic, if others see that thing from you, you feel ashamed. This is called in Arabic awla. If others see from you this aspect, this perspective, this part of your body, you feel ashamed. You don't want to feel ashamed, so you cover yourself. When you're among others, we don't use bad words. We don't talk in an insane. حفظ من حفظ لسانه صلوا على محمد وعلى من حفظ لسانه, the one who controls his language, tongue, satara lahu awratah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you from something which can make you ashamed among others. So you're saved. Until the time you control your language, your tongue, you're saved. Because this is a promise between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will protect you. And the next hadith from Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wassalam, and this is the very beautiful one. It says, Al-lisan sab'un. Sab' means wild, darande, wahshi. Al-lisan sab'un. The tongue is wild. In khulli anhu aqar. If you leave it as you don't care about your tongue, it's going to bite others. That means we do not bite only with teeth. We bite sometimes with the tongue, with the language, with attitude. So we have to be careful. We always remember these three hadiths. This was from yesterday. But for today, there's a beautiful hadith which is taught by Imam Jafar Sadiq to one of his best Sahabi called Abdullah ibn Jundab. He was an faqih and arif and waliullah. He came to Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, "Oh Imam Sadiq, I want to learn something from you. There's a very beautiful book. Was published 10 years ago. I saw in Qom, Sifarishay Jami' Ahlul Bayt. In this book, the author compiled all long ahadith. Otherwise, you have to go and you have to do your own work. You can recite, you can read Usul al-Kafi and then let's say Tuhf al-Uqul and then Amali, all other Amalis, Amali Sayyid Murtaza, Amali Shaykh Mufid, Amali Sayyid Razi, and then you have to read like other books, and then you can make your own compilation of ahadith. If you want to ready something in your hand, that book is a very good book. Well, that book is Arabic and Farsi, but you can find all those beautiful ahadith which explain about how you want to live in your life, basically. That's a very good hadith book, very good book. And there's another book called The Bundle of Flowers, compiled by Hajjari Faqih Imani from Isfahan. He just passed away 2 months ago, 3 months ago, just passed away. Said Hassan Faqih Imami. The Bundle of Flowers. And this book is amazing. There's a 400 hadith, 440, 430 hadith. Amazing book. Before you go to bed, just read 1 or 2 hadiths or 3 hadiths for your children if they're young. If they're the age of between 10 to 15, just read 2 or 3 hadiths every night with them. One of the topmost book will definitely change your entire life. The Books of Wisdom is a very, very good book called Bundle of Flowers. And by the way, I think this book is translated in English and Hispanic language. I have not seen in Farsi and Urdu and other languages. I have the PDF of the English version and Arabic version of this. This is a very good book. This hadith is one of those hadiths. In this hadith, there are 25 sentences, 25 small paragraphs, 25, say, little long lines. The first phrase of this hadith starts from here. Imam told to Abdullah ibn Jundab, قال Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya Abdullah, لقد نسب إبليس حبائله في دار الغرور. لقد نسب إبليس حبائله في دار الغرور. Imam Sadiq said, "Oh Abdullah ibn Jundab, Satan sets his traps in this deceiving world, aiming at none other than our truly closest followers. This entire world is a trap. Be very careful. Sometimes we think, no, alhamdulillah, I'm doing my salat, I'm doing my sawm, I'm doing my hajj, I'm doing my khums, and I'm good. Now I can do whatever I want to do." No, it's not like that. Sometimes people come and ask from our scholars and ulama, we have done all these things. Are we saved? Let me make sure. No, you're not saved. Not you. Nobody in the world is saved. Even though you have done 80 years, all khair, good things, and you're at the end of your life, last day of your life, last moments of your life, you're not saved. Shaitan will test you even to the last moments. One of the students of Sheikh Ansari, Rizwanullah alayh, had a dream. He saw in his dream that Shaitan is around him and he is carrying lots of chains. It's a very old story. Most of you have heard this, I guess. The Shaitan is having lots of chain in his hand. And Shaitan said, "This chain is for Falan Alim, and this chain is for that Alim, and this chain is for that brother, this chain is for that moment." And he's carrying like hundreds of chains. And the student asked, "What is this very big chain? The thick one, the very big one?" He said, "This chain for Sheikh Ansari, your ustaz, your master. And last night he was in my chain almost, but he slipped out. I lost him." "No, even to my master?" He said, "Yes." I could hunt him last night. He was very close. He was in my chain almost, but I slipped. And then he said, where's my chain? He said, you don't need chain. You're behind me without chain. He was shocked. He woke up. Said, what was this dream? Next morning, he went to Sheikh and said, he said, Sheikh, I had a bad dream. What is dream? He said, this is a dream. I saw Shaitan. He was carrying all those chains. And I asked, what is this big chain? He said, it is about you. And he said that you were almost trapped last night, but you slipped. And the Sheikh, he put his head down and said, yes, it is true. I was about to. I was very close to be trapped. And then he explained, last night, my wife was sick, and I thought, let me use some money from the home's money. I was having some home's money at home. Let me use this money for ilaj, for treatment of my wife. And the next day, inshallah, I'll ask the money and I will put it back here. At the last moment, when I was close to touch the money, I said, don't use this money. And then he said, yes, he was correct. I was very close to the trap of Shaitan. And then the student started crying. He said, Shaitan told me, I don't need chain. What can I do? He said, yes, you can do something. That's how Shaitan tests us. Janab Isa ibn Maryam, salamullah alayh. Janab Isa, he did tabligh his entire life. He had no time to marry, to make a home, for children, nothing. He was always traveling from town to town, and the tabligh and the son of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was moving from a town to the town. He was tired. While he was tired, he said, let me lie down on the ground. He was trying to lie down on the ground in the shadow of the mountain. He found a stone, and he was trying to use the stone, Janab Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus Christ, or Jesus of Nazareth. He used this stone as a pillow. He put the stone behind his head to lie down on it, and in this between, he said, if I put some green leaves on this stone, this is going to be a little softer. Right in this moment, all of a sudden, he saw Shaitan is sitting right beside him. And Nabiyullah was shocked. He just shocked like this. How is possible? How can you come this close to me? Oh, Iblis, how could you come to this close to me? How is it possible? He said, Ya Nabiyullah, I was very close to you, and I was trying to enter in your heart, and I was very close, and right there you stopped me. You know why? When you think I'm going to make my pillow, which was a stone, hard thing, let's put some green leaves on it and make it a little softer. I just came to you, jumped towards your heart. And all of a sudden you change your mind. You said, even though this is lust, even though this is worldly desires, and forget it, I don't need the leaves. I will lie down on the stone. In this microsecond, he jumped, he attacked on Jesus, on Isa ibn Maryam. That's how dunya, that's how Shaitan has put haba'il al-ghurur. Imam Salih said to Abdullah ibn Jundab, Ya Abdullah, لَقَدْ نَسَبَ إِبْلِيسْ حَبَائِلَهُ فِي دَارِ الْغُرُورِ. In the house of deceiving, or in the house of traps. And this dunya is house of traps. The entire system is for trapping us. And somehow we have to go through this without being trapped. Neither south, neither north, neither east, neither west, no south. Just keep moving Sirat al-Mustaqim exactly towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do your best, do your good, and just keep moving on. Simple. Imam Sadiq is saying to Janab Abdullah ibn Jundab, لَقَدْ نَسَبَ إِبْلِيسْ حَبَائِلَهُ فِي دَارِ الْغُرُورِ فَمَا يَقْصِدُ فِيهَا إِلَّا أَوْلِيَاءَنَا. And the target of Iblis is only our true followers. But the rest of people, they're already in the Shaitan's track. He's not working for them. He is working only on you people. So you gotta be careful. You be careful. فَمَا يَقْصِدُ فِيهَا إِلَّا أَوْلِيَاءَنَا. The target of Iblis is only our followers of Ahlul Bayt. The rest, no. They're running behind shaitan. They're running behind shaitan. وَلَقَدْ جَلَّتِ الْآخِرَةِ فِي أَعْيُنِهِمْ حَتَّى مَا يُرِيدُونَ بِهَا بَدَلًا. In the eyes of our followers, Akhirah, it's azim, it's a big thing, it's a big time, it's an amazing thing. It's a very, very big thing, valuable thing. If you ask from our awliya, they will never change from anything from this dunya instead of akhirah. No, they just want akhirah. If you're awliya, your close ones to Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, لَقَدْ جَلَّتِ الْآخِرَةِ فِي أَعْيُنِهِمْ. Into our eyes of followers of Ahlul Bayt, akhirah is something really big, amazing, astonishing. Attractions. Our attractions is only towards akhirah. That's it. حَتَّى مَا يُرِيدُونَ بِهَا بَدَلًا. They don't want to change. There's a hadith from Imam Salih alayhi salatu wasalam where it says, when awliya in the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, in the day of Qiyamah, when awliya are going to face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they talk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, dua itself is ibadah. Dua itself is ibadah. When you ask something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. If it's good for you, you're going to be given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it's not good for you, He will not give you. But you will have credits for this dua with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So your dua itself will turn into some ibadah and you will have some points for it. That's why smart people, if you see awliya, the big ulama, they're always doing dua for all awliya, for all mu'mineen, for all human. They're always doing dua because they're utilizing the time and they're earning something. The dua itself is ibadah. Dua itself is ibadah. Mu'mineen are going to wish in the day of Qiyamah, oh Allah, I wish none of my dua would be accepted in this world. For unaccepted duas, they are going to be paid by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something they regret why some of my duas have been accepted in this dunya. If our duas were not accepted, and then we are going to be paid for those unaccepted duas in the day of Qiyamah, we will regret why we have some accepted duas. Unaccepted duas are more valuable to Allah subhanahu to us in the day of Qiyamah. Here is the point is here. لَقَدْ جَلَّتِ الْآخِرَةِ فِي أَعْيُنِهِمْ حَتَّى مَا يُرِيدُونَ بِهَا بَدَلًا. We don't want anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just awliya, they just want akhirah from Allah. And the Imam said, قال على قلوب خشيت نورا. Very lucky, tuba, mubarak to those. Their heart is full of nur. You know what is nur? What is the light? Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. We discussed in Salat al-Jum'ah today in khutbah here. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is light. Allah is nur. His remembrance is not a doing or not an action. It is a consciousness. And I gave the example today. Just like army people, army men. If you're working in army, you're living in a base, in the army base, right? You do everything. You do exercise, you play, you go for jogging, you take shower, you eat food, you do everything. But you always live in a state of conscious. Anytime call can come, and you have just 10 minutes to be in uniform and ready to go. So you live in the state of consciousness. Always, even though you sleep in a way, if call comes and the siren, you listen to the siren, and you have to be in the dress. Just in 10 minutes, that's it. This is a state of consciousness. A mu'min always live in the state of consciousness. You're always conscious. And you can say, oh, alhamdulillah, I'm ayatullah, and I'm marja, and I'm big scholar, and I've written all those books, and I've all made all these things, and I've done all those books, and the very last moment, shaitan can hit you, boom, you're gone. Be very careful. A great faqih in Najaf passed away. And the first night in Qabr, the first night, Malaika came to him, said, okay, show me what you have with you. What have you brought? And then he started doing, I wrote all these books, I wrote all these articles, I taught all these books to students, and I have all these scholars, they are my students. And he was counting his good deeds, and Malaika was answering them. This is what you did, this is for yourself. There's nothing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end. You taught all these books, you write all these books, you wrote all the articles, you did tarbiyah of all those students. It was all for you. You wanted to establish your school, your maktab, your school of thought. There's nothing. And at the end, the scholar felt like he has nothing in his hand. He was so weak, he was naive, he started crying. Then how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to deal with me? Am I a loser? They said, no, you're not a loser. I said, what? Then what I have? I said, do you remember in the winter night that year when you were writing some of your books and a drop of ink was fallen on the paper and a fly came to the ink, this drop, and it started drinking the ink, and you stopped the pen for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is makhlooq of Allah. Let her drink, and you stopped for a few minutes. And the fly was gone, and you continue writing. In your entire life, only that amal was 100% pure for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is not going to accept anything from us except what we have done for Him bil ikhlas. Ikhlas means I have done something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I hide myself, my name, my brand, my popularity, everything, nothing. All I did, if I have done something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is going to be pure. So we have to keep trying. We have to keep trying. It is hard. And it's very easy. It's hard when we're not in the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's easy when we fall in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Imam Hussein والسلام, there are a few groups of Abedin worshippers. A group of worshippers, they have fear of hellfire. They do worship. Well, they're good. They're a group of people, they worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just because they have interest in heaven and the blessings in heaven. But Amir al-Mu'mineen says, no, I am worshiping you, O my Lord, because I found you. I found you, one who I can worship. You deserve to be worshipped. And that is due to love of me. His ma'rifah, his shanah. This ma'rifah, this shanah is the base of all religion. I do entire ibadat and khair in my entire life. And if there's no ma'rifah, I'm not going to be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if I do small things, not the big things, but there's a ma'rifah, there's a true love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's a sincerity for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ikhlas, sincerity, that means a lot to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the goal. على قلوب حشيت نورا وإنما كانت الدنيا عندهم بمنزلة الشجاع الأرقم والعدو الأعجم. And then Imam said, oh Abdullah, this dunya to the followers of me, for awliya of Ahlul Bayt, it is similar to as a big blind snake. Big blind snake. If you stand up right in front of the snake, you can fight with him, and he can defend and he can attack on you. But if the snake is blind, he doesn't know where are you. In front of this animal, back of this animal, light and red, he will attack you from any side. If he feels you're close, he will attack you. And this is the quality of dunya. Now, Haider is saying our followers, our awliya, they take this world, they consider this world as a shuja' al-arqam wal-adu al-a'jam, a wild animal and a blind snake. That's how they're afraid of this dunya. That's how they're afraid of this dunya. As Isa ibn Maryam sallallahu alayhi, Jesus of Nazareth. He says, let me put some green leaves on the stone. This pillow might become little softened, and at the end he said, no, forget, this is dunya. I don't want this dunya. I said, it just turned its face. Even this amount is dangerous. You have to be careful. And then Imam said, our awliya anisu billah wastawhashu mimma bihi ista'nasa al-mutrafun. Very beautiful ta'bir. Very beautiful. Anisu billah. Anisu billah means we are called insan. Among the ulama, there is a dispute. Maybe this word insan is made from, is derived from anasa insan, or from nasaya, nisyan. So it both applies on us. We are people who forget a lot. So maybe the insan derived from nasaya, or maybe we are derived from anasa. Insan has basically, we are inclined to the uns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Uns means very deep, very close friendship, very trustworthy, faithful friendship. And then Imam said, our awliya, my followers, Shia, ulaika awliya, anisu billah. They're in love, deeply in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wastawhishu mimma. And they have wahsha. They have big fear of what? Of those mimma bahi ista'nis al-mutrafun. The wealthy people in dunya, the wealthy people, they are ma'nus, they are close friends with this lust of this dunya, with the desires of dunya. And my awliya are extremely away from the lust of this dunya. Mutrafun, people of this world, they love the facilities and desires of this life, luxuries of this life, while my awliya having wahshat from these things. They have big fear of those dunya stuff. But the mutrafun, people of dunya, they have lust in it. This is the difference between them. And then Imam said, Ulaika awliyai haqqan. Those who have these qualities, they are our awliya haqqan, bil haqq. Bil haqq, they are our awliya. Truly, they are our awliya. They are our friends. They are our best ones. Awliyai haqqan. Ahlul Bayt, when say haqqan means this is truly. If I say, yo, bil haqq, you're doing good. It's something else. When Imam Sadiq says, Ulaika awliyai haqqan, those have these qualities, they are truly my friends, bil haqq, al haqq. There's a meaning in it. Imam means truly this meaning. And then Imam said, وَبِهِمْ تُكْشَفُ كُلَّ فِتْنَةٍ وَتُرْفَعُ كُلَّ بَلِيَّةٍ. This is the result. If it becomes like this, why awliya among us? Why is Sahib al-Zaman among us? Why we don't care about Sahib al-Zaman? Why he cares about us a lot? He cares about us a lot because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us. Allah loves us. One of the Anbiya, maybe Janab Ibrahim, he was about to curse his nation. Allah sent a message to his heart. Go and make statues. Go and make statues. Prophet Ibrahim went, or maybe Janab Dawood and maybe Janab Ibrahim. He started making statues, lots of statues, mujassama statues. When he's done, after a few months, when he was done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, hold a stick in your hand, and it started breaking up. He said, Ya Allah, hold on. It took. I'm not yet done with it. They're still wet. They're not yet dried. They're not yet dried up. And you tell him just break them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied to him, then how could you think? How could you think about cursing my nation, my people? I have appointed you as my messenger, apostle, and nabi on them. Work with them. Subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us. That's why awliya loves us. And in the return, they want nothing from us. When we mu'mineen do something for each other, we say, Iltimas dua, at least do some dua for me. Anbiya and awliya, even they don't want to iltimas dua from you. Nothing. They do all the good to you, and they say just keep helping others, keep supporting others, keep building a good community. I don't need anything from you. I don't want anything from you. Because I am paid. All Anbiya, they were paid by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are going to be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam said, أولئك أولياء حقا وبهم تكشف كل فتنة. Fitna, when you are in the state of trials, in hardships, in troubles. Imam said, go and find them, my awliya. Go and find you ways out from the trouble. Isn't it beautiful? You represent Ahlul Bayt, you represent Rasulullah, you represent Quran and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam said, بِهِمْ تُكْشَفَ كُلَّ فِتْنَةٍ. If you want solution from trials, from hardships, go to them and they will find you way out. And then Imam said, وَتُرْفَعُ كُلَّ بَلِيَّةٍ. If you want to remove bala on from you, hardships from you, go and tell them as iltimas dua. And when they do dua for you, when they do khair for you, when they, many years back, maybe 16, 17 years ago, a group of students, we were going to visit a scholar, Marhum Ayatollah Hassan Zadeh Amuli, maybe 16, 17 years ago in Qom. So before, he used to live, in the summertime, he used to live in his village in North Iran, Iraq, in the northern province on the mountains. We were about to go to see him in Iraq. Before meeting him, we went to see another scholar. And that scholar told us, we were very young students, like maybe 30, 35 students. He told us, before you go to see him, do some khair on his behalf. Awliya usually understand. If you do some khair on their behalf and you go to visit them, in return, they will do some dua for you because they feel it. Before you come to see them, you have done some good for them. And they have to return the ihsan. Radd al-ihsan is wajib almost. So in return, they will do some dua, they will do some guidance to you, and that will help you a lot. And this is the document. وَتُرْفَعُ كُلَّ بَلِيَّةٍ. When you find these kind of awliya, become like them, be a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then others can come to you and find solutions from you. That's why Ahlul Bayt among us. This hadith has 25 parts. Inshallah, if there was life, I will discuss 1 or 2 parts tomorrow, inshallah, and then I will leave on you, and you can read the whole hadith. I try to translate this hadith in English. It's done. English part is done, and Urdu part is done, and the Farsi part is like half remaining. So if the Farsi part was done, I will send you the PDF file, and you can print it. You can have it in a home. It's like 20, 30 pages. It's a very good, beautiful thing. All complete guidance of Imam Jafar Sadiq to Abdullah ibn Jundab in 4 languages. You can read your own part, English, Farsi, Urdu, whatever you want. It's a very good booklet, inshallah. But the goal is reading it, understanding it, and thinking in it. We have to ponder in it. We have to go deep in it, and we have to act upon it, step by step, slowly. And then you can become awliyatullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you can guide this degree, ulaika awliya'i haqqan wa bihim tukshafu kullu fitna wa turfa'u kullu barika. And inshallah, Allah give us tawfiq to become like that. A few sentences of Sayyidah Zahra salam alayha from the Wasiyah. When the last day came to Janab Fatima Zahra salam alayha, Al-Mu'minin came to Fatima Zahra, and they were sitting beside each other. And suddenly Janab Zahra salam alayha told, Ya Ali, before I leave this world, I want to say a few words that I hope I was the best wife for you. And once Janab Zahra told a beautiful sentence, and that is amazing. Even though I can't understand until today what is the meaning of that sentence. She said, Ya Ali, in anta bi khair, ana ma'ak. Wa in anta bi shar, ana ma'ak. This is amazing. Ya Ali, if you're on khair, I'm with you. And if you're on shar, I'm with you. This claim is amazing. That's a simple sentence. Ali can't be on the shar. Janab Zahra cannot be on shar. They were kulluhum khair, kulluhum nur. But the way she expressed her love to Amir al-Mu'mineen sallallahu alayhi, repeated saying these kind of words, and all of a sudden Amir al-Mu'mineen started crying. Said, Zahra, what are you talking about? You're not like the other ladies. The love between me and you, the respect between me and you, and the attraction and affliction between me and you is something amazing. You don't have to see these words. You don't have to say these words. This is not for me and you. And then Janab al-Mu'mineen, he hugged Janab Fatima Zahra, and they both started crying, and they cried for a long time. And then suddenly Janab Zahra, she started saying, Ya Ali, Ana Fatima bintu Muhammad. I am Fatima, daughter of Prophet Muhammad. زوجني الله معك. Allah married me. لأكون لك. Allah married me with you. For what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted me to be only for you, and I was for you only. Just for you. في الدنيا والآخرة. In this dunya I'm for you, and in the hereafter I'm also for you, only for you. أنت أولى بي من غيري. Among others, you are the topmost to me. You are the best one to me. There's no better than you in the world. And then she said, Ya Ali, hannitni. Do the ceremony of death for me. وغسلني. Do me ghusl. Wash me. وكفني بالليل. And put kafan on me in the night time. وصلي علي. And my salat mayyat, you do. Do my salat mayyat. وادفني بالليل. Ya Zahra, why you want to be buried in the night time? He said, Ya Ali, put me in my qabr in the night time. Don't invite anyone else. وَدَفِّنِّي بِاللَّيْلِ وَلَا تُعْلِمْ أَحَدًا. Nobody is allowed to be in my ceremony, my farewell ceremony. I want to be buried. Why Janab Zahra wanted to be buried in the night time? Due to all the zulm she suffered in the life. Those who have done zulm on her, she said, I don't want to be participating in my janazah. Only you, my children, and they're enough. I don't want to be them. Ya Ali, واستودعك الله واقرأ على ولدي السلام إلى يوم القيامة. And I leave you on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and my salam to my children ila yawm al-qiyamah. And then in continuation she says, Ya Ali, when you buried in my qabr, come and talk to me. Because in this life, I was always talking to you. I never talked to anybody else. So I'm going to miss you. Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. Imam Ali used to go every night almost to talk to him. He was very lucky. He used to go and talk to him. But there was in Karbala, daughter of Sayyid al-Shuhada Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, when she saw the head of Baba, Imam Hussein al-Salam, but she has no right to visit the qabr of Imam Hussein al-Salam. She was all alone in the jail. She left the life. She died in the jail, and she couldn't come to visit the qabr of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein al-Salam. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وزن بقضائه تسليما لأمره سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله يا خاتم النبيين. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يا سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا أبا محمد الحسن بن علي أيها الزكي الناصح الأمين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين بن علي أيها الغريب المظلوم الشهيد بكربلاء. السلام عليكم يا أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليكم يا نصار الحسين. السلام عليكم يا أزواج الحسين. السلام عليكم يا ذريات الحسين. السلام عليك يا أخت الحسين زينب بنت أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم يا أئمة الهدى يا علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى الرضا الغريب الغرباء ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. الأمان 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 من فتن الزمان. سيدي عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك واجعلنا من أنصاره وعوانه والمستشهدين بين يديه ورحمة الله وبركاته.